Hello, fam. Good to see you. I troll your chat for about 3 minutes before I get on here. Fireball Tim, good to see you. I've been wondering what you've been up to. You've been on my mind. Dusty, love all of the research that you're doing. So cool. I see that Leslie is closing cycles like a boss. Go, Leslie. Hi, Codex. Welcome in. I don't believe you've been here on a live with us. Or Bunny Rabbit. Hello. Hello, Scorpio. Hi, Anja. Hello, Socks Mason. Jimmy Graybeard. Jennifer. Who else did I see on here? Hello, Rose. Hey, Jennifer D. Hi, Alicia. Hello, Cy. Making your peppermint patties. All right. So tonight we are going to dive into an oracle deck we have not dived into yet that Miss Jennifer sent us, this Akashic Records oracle deck. This deck is all about the karmic lessons we have already learned or are still to learn. So let's see what's going on. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Courtney. Thank you, Courtney. It gets cold here this time of year, and I prefer a wig over a hat. Hi, Dee. So let's see. I just recorded a reading for tomorrow. I got to tell you, I loved it because the moral of the whole scenario is that many of you are not only listening to your intuition, but you're not even questioning it at this time. I love that. Making moves. Okay? That's what being psychic is really about. Okay? Being psychic is not just about predicting the future, but there are things that you can predict when you listen to your intuition. You can move towards things or move out of the way when you get that inner knowing. And that's what that reading was throwing down. I liked it. It was good stuff. So let's see. Let's look at these soul lessons. Oh, Alley Cat, I wish I could say I don't question myself anymore. But I got a pretty good ego check yesterday. It happens on occasion. All right, let's dive into these cards, see what's going on for all of you healers tonight. I am going to ask that I be put on the list for a little bit of adjustment. My body's a little bruised up. Crashed my bike yesterday, but my ego is more bruised than my motorcycle. Let's see if I can turn that bell down a little bit. I know that's loud for you guys, but you have to keep the volume like at a certain place with this, or it doesn't pick everything up. Thanks, Scorpio. I appreciate that. All right. Thank you, Bunny Rabbit. How sweet of you. Thank you. That's what the title of tonight's message was about. But let's see if it comes out in the reading if I want to share with you my ultra embarrassing story of how I allowed my ego to get in the way yesterday. No amount of voodoo, no amount of protection spells, no amount of dousing yourself with high John oil will protect us from our own damn egos. It's so good to see your face, Fireball Tim. I'm happy that you're here. I hope life is treating you good. All right, let's dive in here. What do we got? Soar. Being asked to stop dimming your light. Letting go. Being asked to let go of pain and resentments. Dependence. There's something or someone that you might be clinging on to. Stuck in lack. In the mental loop of feeling that you have lack of resources and mental, emotional, and physical limitations. And reward and recognition. Congratulations, your hard work will soon pay off. Okay, this is a little bit of dichotomy here. I like this. We're looking at some dark, so to speak, some shadow, so to speak, and some light here. Okay. Ego-based fears taking over with stuck in lack. Reining in your physical, emotional, and financial limitations, which may create ego-based fear. Let's look at that first. That was me yesterday, my ego pushing physical limitations. I have a motorcycle that is not really great for city riding. It's a badass bike, but it's not good for city riding because it doesn't take sharp turns well. It doesn't, the way that the handlebars and the forks are situated. And in San Francisco, you have hills, you have tight streets, and you take a lot of sharp turns. And I was in the middle of the steepest street in San Francisco, literally, and there was oncoming traffic in the other lane, so I had to stop mid-hill to take this left turn. And I made a mistake. It was my mistake. You know, a lot of times when you turn or when you stop, you can mess with your clutch and throttle to balance yourself to get ready to take that turn. But when you're on a hill like that in San Francisco, you also need to use your foot brake. And I didn't do that. And so I dumped my bike. I smashed my knee. No big deal. Happens. It's part of riding. But I happened to be with a group of people doing a very cool artistic project that my ego was very happy about. And I had cameras on the front and back of my bike, GoPros, because I was part of the filming crew. I was supposed to be going in front of and behind of these other bikes to film certain scenes. So that we get off the road, we see my handlebars are all bent up. So I already have a bike that has a hard time taking sharp turns. And then now I have bent handlebars and it's really screwed up trying to take a right turn. And my friends are like, dude, we can do this without your B-roll. We're going to get you some ice packs. We're going to get you something to drink. Get inside. Get your knee up. We're good. But my ego stepped in. I didn't listen to my intuition. And I said, nope, I can do this. I got this. I got this. There is no way I'm letting this keep me down right now from this project, as my knee was growing the size of a football, right? And they're like, I really don't think you should get back on the bike. I'm like, nope, I got this. So with bent handlebars, I get back on the bike. I get to the end of the drive and I go to take a sharp right turn. I dump the bike again, and this time my face lands in a car in the back end of a vehicle. That no amount of voodoo will protect you from your ego. My ego got checked so hard yesterday. Pride does go before the fall, Jen D. That's right. The first time was a mistake. I don't get mad at myself for making mistakes at my age. I could let that go, right? No big deal. Made a mistake. But boy, did my ego get in the way when I didn't think I was going to be able to finish that filming. And I was like, I'm a bad bitch. I got this. No, you don't. So, here we go. Ego-based fears taking over. Lacks, financial lacks, physical limitations, FOMO, pride. What's going on here? We have justice in reverse, the hanged man in the upright, the 6 of cups, and the 10 of cups. Okay, this is definitely all in the mind, right? With the justice in reverse and the 6 of cups. This is representing the past, places where we felt that there has been injustice in our life. But when we go in for a higher perspective and it doesn't become ego-based and we're not just looking at our limitations, it puts us in a space of a 10 of cups. This 10 of cups coming out in this ego-based stuck in lack attitude is telling me that in this life, this is where we learn this lesson. And it's going to be a lesson we're not going to have to repeat with the 10 of cups. I love that. Higher perspective. Little Morgan story time. I didn't take a minute to go in for that higher perspective after the first time I dumped my bike. My ego got in the way. I had physical limitations that I pushed through, and I paid for it. Hello, Lala. How's it going? All right, let's look at this dependence. Okay, dependence is a hard one. Codependency is a hard one. Codependency is what this card is reading, okay? There's something or someone we are clinging on so tight to that's keeping us from stepping into the light. I do feel codependency on this card. Codependency tends to be one of those ancestral wounds. It's one of those familial wounds. It's a behavior that gets passed down to the point where if we don't go in to hangman, we don't even need to be necessarily a bad connection, but do we observe our connections? Do we think about the roots of our connections really, right? Because codependency is one that will definitely hold us back from shining our light. This is talking about that we are everything that we need to succeed. Okay? All of you. I'm so blessed to have all of you in my life. So, so blessed. You make this journey so awesome. But if I don't believe that I have everything to succeed and I'm dependent on everyone else, it makes it very hard to show up for ourselves and when we authentically want to show up for others. Codependency and too much dependency on people, places, and things will rob us of that. We won't step out into our light. I think there are many of us that go through cycles in this life where we can look back and say, wow, I didn't step out. I dimmed my light, right? I stayed low because I allowed my success to be dependent upon others, my happiness to be dependent on others. We create these 10 of cups. You can co-create a 10 of cups with someone, but if you're not already in the 9 of cups and that complete emotional fulfillment of self, this will become codependent in some way, shape, or form. So tell us more about this dependence card. 2 of Pentacles, balance. The Hermit. The 5 of Swords. Give me another one on this 5 of Swords. The 9 of Swords and 3 of Swords. Okay, so they're showing me the 2 examples here, okay? There's a balance in being in hermit mode and being in community. Okay, the message that they're giving us is for many of us, okay? We allow people to be overly dependent on us, okay? Giving too much of our time, our energy, and our resources. This is like that feeling of people pleasing, okay? What does that do? That puts us in anxiety, that gives us sleepless nights. That's when our mind is racing a million miles an hour, when we overcommit to people, places, and things, okay? To the point of burnout, and then we're putting up our swords. And what they're saying is the balance is here. Okay, there's a balance between the 2 and 3 of Pentacles. And that balance is knowing when to be in hermit mode, when to be in the inner sage, when to be giving all of our energy to ourselves. There are times where we have to give all of our time and our energy to ourselves. For those of you that are parents, I know that that is hard when you have young ones, okay? Because the 2 of Pentacles is about self and the 3 of Pentacles is about community. If we're completely codependent on other people, or we believe that having other people around and doing for other people at all times is what this 10 of Cups is about, but we're feeling like this, something's off, right? Something's out of balance there. And that balance is the hermit mode. If we have dependent situations, relationships that we're not willing to completely let go of, or also people that are not willing to let go of us, people that don't understand that hermit mode. We can say that other people are robbing our peace, but at the end of the day, we have to remember that we are allowing them to rob our peace. We don't need to defend or explain ourselves in any way, shape, or form, especially when it comes to self-care practices. And self-care can be a wide range of things, right? It's whatever you look at as your self-care practices. Letting it go, being asked to let go of any pain or resentment that we might be holding on to, any negativity that we might be holding on to. Releasing it in order to be free. What's the lesson in this life of what we need to look at letting go of? Can you please tell me what the lesson is in this life of what we need to be letting go of? Ace of Wands. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. The 7 of Cups and the World in reverse. Okay, there is a lifestyle. There are beliefs that in the past have robbed us from our true identity. Okay, our self-identity. Trauma is something that robs people of identity. Okay, we usually have to go inward and do that shadow work and do some healing to repair the identity. This can happen going into adulthood as we exit our family and go out into the world and things look different. We're starting to question what we really believe, what we don't believe. Trauma can definitely ensue identity issues. This is what I'm feeling all over these cards, okay? With the 7 of Cups. Walking away. This is all about turmoil in the identity. Not closing a cycle on something that caused us turmoil within the identity. Holding back from this Ace of Wands, from this passionate new beginning in self. This is very much aligned with this codependency energy. Okay? Sometimes we're fearful of coming out, so to speak, or letting go of certain people, places, and things because it will close a cycle. It will close a cycle with people. And that will cause resentment if we don't let it go. And who or what, if they vibrate in love, would ever want to hold us back from this, from a passionate new beginning, from joy, from happiness, from creativity, from living our most authentic life, right? Give me more on this world card in reverse, please. You know, I know everyone that I'm speaking with tonight. We're all the type of people that will go in, right? If something becomes misaligned, we go inside. We take responsibility. We look at our actions. We look at our part in it. We have emotional intelligence. We also need to look at the other party's part in it also. And not to harbor resentment or blame or anything else, but to see what the root of the motive is. What is the root of our motive? What is the root of their motive? And that's part of letting go of that resentment, because when we look at the root of other people's motives, most of the time it really has nothing to do with us, right? Has to do with their own insecurities and fears. So that is part of that karmic lesson of letting things go. To harbor resentment against someone means it's something really personal. And granted, a lot of people's actions can feel very personal. Abuse feels very personal. But if we look at the root, we can let go of the resentment. And I'm talking about that shadow analysis. I'm not even going towards forgiveness. That's a whole nother topic. I think there's a lot of weird stuff around the idea of forgiveness. Letting things go is a good action for our soul. Whether you choose to forgive is a whole nother thing. And that has to be that has to be so individualized. Okay, clarifying the world card, I have the Two of Cups, the Lovers in reverse, and the Seven of Wands in reverse. Somebody's giving you an ultimatum here. Okay, to not close a cycle, trying to get you to put your defenses down. Tell me about this ultimatum. What does this have to do with the resentment? What does this have to do with the resentment? What is the ultimatum here? The ultimatum is a Ten of Swords. Okay, so this is a repeating message, okay? And what this repeating message is again, is a projection of fear. If there are people, places, and things that are overly dependent on you and you choose to step out, the projection of fear in the ultimatum is that if you leave, if you move away, if you do your own thing, if you let it go, it's going to equal a Ten of Swords for you. You're going to be put in this Ten of Swords. You've been put in this agony, but this is a projection. This is a projection. This is someone or something giving you an ultimatum. Okay, is the ultimatum real? Will you really be in a Ten of Swords if you go your own way, if you do your own thing, if you're true to yourself and you let go of of dependencies? So I think our last live stream kind of fell on this too, right? It's like, what are you willing to risk? What are you willing to lose in order to truly experience freedom? In order to truly be free and be able to stand in your authenticity. They're showing me a cardinal. I'm thinking about all of my Canadian friends there. All right. All right, here's the good stuff though. Soar, you're being asked to stop dimming your light. It's time to come out of the shadows and be your authentic self. Fly high. Oh, they showed us that little cardinal. It's time to fly high, my friends. Stop dimming our light because these ultimatums might not even be real. Be a projection of someone else's fears. All right. Tell me about this soar card. Tell me about the Star Tribe soaring. Did we just lose? Got it. 3 of Cups. 9 of Wands in reverse. Ah. But what happens if I soar? What happens if I'm not everything to everyone? What happens if I don't stay in an energy of martyrism? What happens if everyone leaves me out in the cold? What happens if I lose these connections? If I lose this comfort? If I lose this space? Where is that going to leave me? Well, it might just leave you in celebration. It's perspective. That's choosing love over fear. I like that. Tell me more about this celebration. Woo. Well, the celebration is the sun, the happiest card in the deck. Giving to self, giving to others as you would. Because just because we choose to step out of over dependency and codependent situations doesn't mean that we're ever going to become a selfish person. That's not how it is. If we believe that we're going to become a selfish person, that's a belief that we have to look at, right? But once we're in the sun energy, once we're in this celebration energy, boy, when we choose to give, this is what we're giving to others. We're giving them the sun. We're giving them celebration. As opposed to when we're giving here. She's tired. Look how tired she is. Look at her eyes. She's tired. Tired. That sickle's heavy. She can barely pick it up anymore. All right, reward and recognition. Your hard work will soon pay off. As you take action towards your dreams, acknowledge your efforts and your own personal power. Other people may not recognize your accomplishments or your own personal power, but it is most important that we do. Yes, it is nice to get accolades from others, but the most important accolades is from self, from spirit, from your band. All right? Hello, Arctum. How's it going? Oh, look, his facial expression just changed. Hello, Heart Angel. Yeah, this deck is fun, isn't it, Leslie? I like this deck too. Queen of Pentacles. King of Wands. Whoa, I like this energy. This is good energy. Strength in reverse. King of Pentacles. Strength card in reverse in this deck is always, to me, when I look at the artwork, because look at that. Look at how hard he's having to force his will to force the mouth open of that serpent, alligator, whatever it is, right? So this card came out in reverse. So to me, this is about flow, okay? Using our will to create the life that we want, because the will is about action, all right? And fire, as this King of Wands, that's the action. The wands in tarot are all about the fire of the will and the fire that we need to create action with our will, to take the steps to create the things that we want to create, okay? But coming up next to the Strength card in reverse, what this feels like is it feels like flow rather than that resistance. When we commit to things that we don't really want to do, we're fighting with our own resistance. It's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. And it's hard to get into flow state. It's hard to get into that deep sacral creative energy. Okay? It's hard to be the magician. This is tough. This would be a tough space. I'm sorry, if these cards were exactly reversed. It would be hard to be them. Excuse me, with the Strength card up. I'm looking at things backwards. I just did it wrong again. Anyways, because I'm looking at a mirror. If these came out the exact opposite, it would be tough to be the magician because the magician needs to be in flow. So with the Strength card in reverse and the King of Wands in the upright, that's flow state. Okay, so that's already a jump from what we saw over here. Understanding that this hard work of directing our fire towards our dreams keeps us in flow state. And with this King of and Queen of Pentacles, I love this. I love this because this is all about grounded manifestations. The King and Queen of Pentacles also represents like the ideal relationship in tarot when these two come out together. Okay, ideal relationships that are void of dependence, that truly create a lasting 10 of Cups, which we saw over here, which will happen, which will come in this lifetime. They can create it because they're not overly dependent on each other or overly dependent on other people, places, and things. And so when we give our energy to others and we're not in that 9 of Wands or 9 of Wands in reverse energy and feeling this 10 of Swords, that's when things get really magical, get really, really magical for us. I like that. All right, I'm going to pull some more of these Akashic cards. All right. Yeah, Codex Gizmo's always hanging out with us. He's kind of like my little co-host over here. We don't do tarot without Giz around. As you can see, he scries like a boss. He's always busy with his crystal ball. I love that, Alley Cat. I don't need a gold star from anybody either. It is nice to feel appreciated. It is nice to feel loved. That's for sure. But I don't chase it, right? We don't chase it. No need to. Kayla, hello. Nice to see you here on a live. I hope you're well. All right, what else do they want to tell us from this Akashic deck? Protect. Walking away. Fresh start. Grounding. Okay, so this protect card is all about boundaries, right? It is okay to give to others, but we want to be able to feel like we're in the energetic state of being able to do it effortlessly. Okay? And boundaries put us in this space. There's something that we might be wasting our energy on from this time, at this time, something that is taking away time, energy, and attention towards something that's more aligned to our soul purpose with the walking away card. The fresh start, that it goes back to that Ace of Wands, being giving an opportunity. Okay, there's an opportunity to embrace and open fully to the gifts that have been given to us and loving on them, and grounding, being asked to ground ourselves. We've been spending too much time in our heads to pay attention to the body and to the earth. There is a very interesting podcast I listened to this week. I'll post it on the community page. I just thought of it with that grounding card. That was so interesting because it was talking about how literally our spirituality, our connection to higher self, is all in rhythm to the earth. And so why it's so natural for children, because it comes down to, when we look at it when you look at spirituality from a neuroscience perspective, the lens of neuroscience, it's all about a perspective. Spirituality is actually a perspective, and that children are born with that perspective because they are so much more grounded to the literal earth. It's a very, very interesting podcast. I liked it a lot. Okay, they're showing me a picture of the ancestors. Cool, ancestors are here. I'll post that on the community page. It's worth a listen. It was good. And it was interesting, the perspective of neuroscience and spirituality and when it comes to the brain. Our brains tend to run amok, right, though? We can get up in our heads too much, so that's where the body comes in too, staying grounded in the body. All right, I'm feeling like the most important message on this protect card right now is, because some of this feels like a repeating message, is what it says here about, are we in a space where we feel like we're giving to people effortlessly? That's giving to people in a vibration of love. If we feel encumbered or burdened by giving time, energy, resources, anything to someone else, and are not in that space where it feels effortless, there's some kind of boundary crossing happening there, right? There's some kind of boundary crossing. And it could be us also not honoring our boundaries. It's not always the other person, right? We have the power of saying yes or no. Are we okay with saying yes or no? I know for myself, for many years, I always said yes and I never said no. I had to learn the power of my no because I was burnt out all the time. That is a very creepy looking doll. I don't know what that has to do with this right now. Two of Swords in reverse is Six of Cups and Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, this is the example. Okay, this is the example how in the past, the Six of Cups represents the past. Okay, people, places, and things, including ourselves, putting us in a space of indecision and rushing. Okay, the Page of Pentacles in reverse should be more curious energy, thoughtful energy, introspection in order to make a decision, and just feeling like we have to rush. We have to rush to abide, to appease. That's not giving in a space of love. That's not giving effortlessly. I like that I'm seeing the Six of Cups here. That means that that lesson is in the past as far as what we're talking about with these Akashic Record cards. Okay, what are we wasting energy on right now that is not bearing fruit? What do we need to turn our attention to align more to self, more to our soul's purpose, more towards our authentic state of being? There's something that we need to walk away from potentially here. Tell me more here about this, please. Eight of Swords, Two of Cups, Page of Wands in reverse, and the Sun card. Okay. This feels like law of attraction stuff here. And what they're showing me with this Two of Cups, this Eight of Swords, which we know this is the self-imposed mental prison, okay? This is a desire for deep connection and not sure how we're going to get there, is what they're telling me with this Eight of Swords. The more that we stay in this Sun energy, the sooner we get to this Two of Cups, these deep soulmate connections. This Eight of Swords, this self-imposed mental prison of wondering if and when it will ever happen, is a waste of thought and is not aligned with our soul's purpose. Being caught in our head about anything. No, somebody's burning some yellow candles again. Somebody's doing some come to me spells. They're showing me two yellow candles on the ghost here is what they just showed me. No need to be in this self-imposed mental prison. If you're standing in this vibration, in this Sun energy, this will come about exactly the way that you want it, in the sense that it's aligned to your energy. These connections will be aligned to the Sun energy because you are in the Sun energy. Being up in our heads about it like this will align people coming in that are up in their heads like this. I just saw this so point blank in my life recently. It was crazy. And it wasn't a bad thing. And it wasn't like this person was like bad energy or anything like that. But this is also that, this is the whole concept. The reason why they had me say that is because I was thinking that as this person was literally speaking to me, the band said, see how the world is a mirror. See how this person is up in their head about the same things you're up in your head about, but are not willing to admit. So what are you up in your head about? This, hopefully this, because this aligns with your soul's purpose. This will be mirrored to you. But if this is the mind space that we're in, then this will be mirrored to us. But we know this isn't fruitful, right? In the sense of like, this is that winning the battlefield of the mind. Okay. Fresh start. You are being given an opportunity, embracing the gifts that you have been given as this fresh start. Fully embracing the gifts that we have been given. I feel a little bit of, if we're not embracing the gifts that we have been given, that feels a bit imposter syndrome. That feels like self-gaslighting. Talk a lot about other people gaslighting us more than we talk about ourselves gaslighting us. And boy, do we gaslight ourselves more than other people. All right. Tell me about embracing these gifts that we've been given. Yep. Oh, okay. gaslighting ourselves 100%. Imposter syndrome. I'm not qualified. I'm not good enough. I know I have these gifts, but maybe I need to do a little more research. Maybe I need to go get another degree. Maybe in another year, right? Up in our heads. Anxiety over the things that we already have. What they're talking about here with this fresh start card is embracing the gifts that we have been given. We have been given these gifts. We already have these gifts. Yes, do things get fine-tuned over time? Absolutely. But are we gaslighting ourselves out of the practice, out of the stepping forward, out of the sharing of the world because we believe that we're not qualified enough, right? That's where imposter syndrome comes in. Why would I be chosen to do this? Why would I be given the resources to do this? Maybe this is just in my head. Maybe this is foolish, is what they're showing me here. Okay. And here's the thing with the 5 of Wands, someone's always going to have something to say, right? But that's why it's so important that we trust our intuition. And I'm telling you, right before I got on this live with you all and I recorded tomorrow morning's reading for you, some of you are trusting your intuition so strongly, in no way second guessing yourself. Okay. So if that resonates with you, that you are not second guessing yourself, you're not gaslighting yourself, you are not in a self-imposed mental prison of imposter syndrome, then it's time to take action on this fresh start, on these gifts, embracing them and allowing them to open up, to blossom in the world, okay? And there is justice in this for you. There's justice. There's justice from these devil energies. There's justice from these outside energies. See how he's stepping on his naysayers? Just by doing his thing. Just by doing his thing. Tell me more about this justice card, please. This justice and these gifts that have been given and this fresh start. Tell me more about this justice card. Queen of Wands. 4 of Wands. Queen of Pentacles. Again, this is the energy of the Magician. Your justice is that you're magical AF. And that's why I'm here to remind you all the time about how magical you are. Not that you need my accolades, but damn it, sometimes the world just wants to step on your magic. It's lots of happiness haters out there, but you have a victory here. You have a victory in soulmate connections, in union, in your gifts, in your communication, in your sacral energy, which we've been talking a lot about lately. Okay, major energetic downloads of just this amazing creative energy. Okay, living in this space of goodness, of knowing that something great is coming. Allie said that at some point this week. I loved it. She's like, I don't know what it is, but something great is coming. I can feel it. That is living in this sun that we saw over here. It's all in the mind, whether we choose to be in the sun energy or not. Good stuff, Star Tribe. All right. Being asked to pay attention to your body, to connect to the earth, okay? Because it brings this centering. It brings this all-knowing, this inner knowing. This inner knowing that this is our vibration despite everything that's going on around us. That groundedness, that to the earth, to our band, to spirit, to our higher self, to God, whatever you choose, whatever words you choose for that in your life, of your practice of staying grounded in self. That keeps us out of our head, that keeps us out of this 9 of Swords energy and instead in that sun energy, which makes us quite magical and beautiful. Our energy radiates, right? When we're in that space. Yes, we are going into the year of the snake. Isn't that exciting? I'm excited about going into the year of the snake. Okay. We got the 6 of Swords. The 7 of Wands. The 6 of Swords. The 9 of Pentacles. Yeah. When we start, this is a repeating message. When we start feeling like we have to build a wall around ourselves, we start feeling like we have to defend ourselves, when we're utilizing our fire as a point of defense rather than a point of manifestation, is when it is time to fly away to calmer waters, as we say with the 6 of Swords, to ground, to get back into this 9 of Pentacles energy, this abundant, grounded energy of feeling the sun on our faces. Okay, so that at times that's not easy. Let's be real, depending on what is going on in our universe, right? In our own little bubbles. It can be hard to get out of the mind and step away, right? I can remember a time where, but I lived a life where I was so, I depended so much on my works for my self-worth that it was like my to-do list never ended, right? The jobs never ended. The people that needed help never ended. So the idea of taking time to ground, I was so up in my head and had so much to do. Like, who has time? Who has time to do that? Who has time to ground? Who has time to go out in nature? Who has time to meditate? Who has time? Well, it's so ridiculous, because the groundedness of getting into body, into the earth, into our spirituality, even if it's only for 30 minutes, actually makes us so much more productive on the other side, right? We're able to get out of our mind. When we stop that loop, we become this very abundant human, because our energy becomes abundant. When we're this is such a different vibration than the sun energy. I mean, my God, even just look at the artwork on these 2 cards. That person is up in their head, right? Right? So sometimes we have to do things that are counterintuitive. I talk about that a lot in this channel too. Play can be so counterintuitive to us, especially when we have 1,000,001 things to do. The idea of stopping and playing for an afternoon sounds insane. It sounds silly. It sounds childish. Well, it's going to make all the difference that next week of where we stand in our energy. I love your energy tonight, y'all. This is good stuff. Moving through lots of stuff here. Dusty, I don't know if I have thanked you yet, but I do want to thank you. I know you have not seen my face there yet, and you will very, very soon. Very, very soon. But I want to thank you for doing the whole Discord deal for everyone. I can't tell you just how much that makes my heart so happy that you've created an even more intimate space for the Star Tribe to hang out. I appreciate you very much. I appreciate you. All right. Oh, Jennifer, they're showing me the ballerina again, and my right ear just started ringing like crazy. My friends here. All right, I'm going to pull a couple of symbols to close out this collective energy. I'm so grateful y'all showed up to hang out this evening. I appreciate you. When I do these spontaneous lives, like I said, I'm trying to make sure I am on here a certain amount of days a week for the downloads, and you don't seem to mind when I show up for a live if I don't get a chance to pre-record, and I appreciate you. Yeah, there's lots of meditation references on YouTube for sure. Bunny rabbit, yeah. And too, guided meditation is not for everybody. A lot of guided meditations require people to be quite visual. Okay, that might not be where it lies for you. A lot of people need physical movement in meditation, or tapping into other senses. Experiment. Find out what's unique to you, what really resonates with you. That's super important. Because if not, if it doesn't set our soul on fire, we're not going to want to do it. So we got to find the thing that sets our soul on fire. We have so many Mercury retrogrades going on this month. Makes me tongue-tied. Yes, Jennifer, it's Guitar Guy who's here. That's why my right ear started ringing really loud. So I'm not really paying attention to this ghost seer tonight. And I heard, look over at your ghost seer. A picture of a ballerina came up again. Hello, Julia. Hi from Italy. Hello. Thank you for being here with us. Oh, you have a VR app for meditation, Jimmy. That's cool. See, I'm a very visual human, so a VR app would be great for me for meditation. When I do my transcendental meditation, it's all like I guide myself visually through a lot of different things. Anything really, any kind of cord cutting, meditations, things like that. Visual guidance works very well for me because I'm very visual. Oh, thanks, Julia. Thank you. We're so grateful that you're here with us. Yeah, Jennifer, you are very visual. Visual is definitely your strong. Actually, you know what? I think maybe we'll do that on a next live along with a reading. I'm going to make a note of that. There's something I can guide everyone through to help you grab on to what that is. If you're someone who has a hard time meditating or are not sure what is your strongest sense within your, what would trigger your sixth sense, your psychic abilities, your intuition stronger, we can do that. Yeah. Let's do that. I'm definitely down to do that. New moon, soulmate, safe travels, earth energy and power. Staying grounded in our earth energy is where our power comes from. Okay. I can say that as someone who has so much water in their chart. Okay. And this is for people that have a lot of water in their chart also. For those of you that are hanging out on this live, that love to stay in the dreamscape, that love to stay in the ethereal, to the point where we find so much of the earthness, not only mundane, but like, what's the point? But there's power in being in that grounded energy. There's power in not being up in the mind. There's power there's power for those of us that spend a lot of time in the dreamscape to be grounded in our earth energy, so that those downloads and that intuition and those things that we're getting above actually manifest in this world. Okay. And that can be hard for some of us. And for others of us, the message with this is owning our power by staying grounded. For those of us that have a lot of air, for those of you that have a lot of air energy, I can't include myself in that one. Spending a lot of time in the head. We have to get back to that earth energy also. And same thing with those of us that have a lot of fire. That's also me too, right? I can get so fired up about something that I never finish it. Unless I stay grounded, right? Right? And that's where the power lies. Okay, so there's something too. There's another message here about in a new moon cycle. Okay, so there's something that either you wanted to manifest in this recent new moon cycle. Okay, it was new moon, and we're in Sagittarius season, but I believe even this new moon was in this recent new moon was in Sagittarius, wasn't it? I'm going to double check that so that I give you the right answer here, that I give you the right message. I believe it was in. What is that? Why isn't that telling me? Does anyone know? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Was it in Scorpio or Sagittarius? It was in Scorpio. Okay. I apologize. So this last new moon on December 1st was in Scorpio. There was something that there are some of you that wanted to manifest travel. There were some of you that wanted to manifest new soulmates, maybe some of you that wanted to manifest both. I know those are things that I want in my life, both of those things. So that you specifically did whatever voodoo you do in the new moon around either travel or soulmate connections, which means that this is confirmation, these three cards that I'm looking at, that in 6 months, when that full moon in Scorpio rolls in, those things that you wanted to manifest in that new moon will come into fruition. It's a good message, man. And if you're just starting to play around with some form of magic for manifestations, affirmations, whatever resides with your heart, if the moon energy resides in your heart, know that. Okay? If you put something out there in a new moon cycle, it will be 6 months that the moon will be full in that same energy. Okay? And those things will manifest for you. Love it. Good stuff, Star Tribe. Packing your bags and your passport right now. I love that, Jennifer. I love that. This full moon coming up is in Taurus. Thank you for telling me that. I don't know why I thought it was in Gemini. Why did I think it was in Gemini on the 15th? Yeah. No. Right? Is it in Taurus or Gemini? I think it's in Gemini. It depends on which astrology. I don't know which astrology you're looking at. We're all going to Sedona. I love Sedona. I love Sedona and I love Jerome. If you ever go to Sedona, also go to Jerome, which is only like 30 minutes up the hill. And it's such a magical little town. Actually, one of my favorite artists lives in Jerome. She's a sculptor. Her name is Janie Layers. And every time I go to Sedona, I make sure to go give her a hug and get a new sculpture from her. She's magical. Magical. Sedona is a special place. It was 2 years ago was the last time I was there. I actually did my internal family systems IFS certifications in Sedona. That was cool because that was the longest I'd ever stayed there. I got to stay there I think I was there 8 or 10 days at a retreat center. It was really nice, and got time to just lay on rocks. I love going to Sedona and just laying on rocks. In Jeromesville, does that count? Oh, I'm sure there are ayahuasca retreats in Sedona for sure. I'm sure there's multiple options, Jennifer, for ayahuasca retreats in Sedona. Oh yeah, it's a great place to go camping. Great place to go camping. I have a long-time family friend there who also has been a hot air balloon pilot for most of his life, and so that's pretty rad too. Usually he takes us out flying whenever I'm there, and that's pretty magical too. Pretty magical being that high in the air in a wicker basket. I don't think I would do it with anyone else but my buddy, because I know how much flight time he has. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that would be great to organize a camping trip there. It's a great place to camp. It's besides the fact that you have to, which isn't a big deal, but Phoenix is the easiest way to fly in. And I'm trying to remember, I think the drive's maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours from Phoenix. But you can do Sedona pretty economical, whether you camp or whether you group rate one of those retreat centers. I'll have to look up the name of that retreat center that we all stayed at for the IFS thing. It was, oh my God, it was such a magical property. It was just amazing. The trees, the rocks, the waterfalls, all the hiking paths. It was so peaceful and so beautiful. I think it was there was a lot of Buddhism symbolism at the place. So it might have been owned by a Buddhist church or something like that, but they do all kinds of different groups there. It was amazing. There's a Sedona vortex. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's several vortexes there. It's pretty cool. I just love rocks. If it wasn't for rocks, I think I would be floating all the time. Yeah. Yeah, how fun would that be to do a retreat and hang out and work, not work, but we could all kind of co-create on teaching some different modalities and play, because that's important. As someone who did conventions for many, many years and has been to many retreats and many certifications, I have always said if I was going to plan things like that, I would definitely leave more time for people to play. Like it seems like every time I've gone to something like that, and I understand you're only there for a certain amount of time, so they want to cram everything in a short amount of time. But it's like you don't even have any breathing space to, I feel like, integrate some of the information that you learn or the experiences that you have, because it's like on to the next thing. And for most people, like we all work really hard, right? And so to invest time and energy to go to a retreat, so to speak, like there should be downtime too. Like we should be like taking care of ourselves and integrating. And yeah, cramming is for exams, not retreats. Bunny Rabbit, so many retreats I've been to have been like that though. It's crazy. Like I don't know, like if they feel like concerned, like if there isn't stuff happening 24/7, you're not getting enough bang for your buck or something. But I've always found that kind of strange. A dog carpool. Yes. I think Arizona is pretty dog friendly. I forget about stuff like that, Jennifer D, because I live in San Francisco. Like San Francisco is the most dog friendly city, I swear. Like anywhere, like you can bring your dogs on public transportation. You can bring them on the subway, you can bring them on buses. You bring your dogs everywhere. I bring my dog in the bank with me. Actually, the only place that you can't bring dogs is I spent a bunch of time at the city permit and inspection offices this week in like government buildings like that you can't bring dogs into, but you can literally bring your dogs everywhere else in San Francisco. It's not even like a question. So I forget sometimes. I think the rest of the world is like that, but you're right. You have to find out if we could all bring our pups. Good night, Fireball Tim. It was so good to see you. I was so happy to see your face. I hope you're well. I hope you're well. Yes, it's off to bed for me too, actually. Got a full day tomorrow. There will be that reading I recorded will be up in the morning, and I will see you again tomorrow night for a live. Looking forward to it. And yeah, we'll have to convene. Yeah, I think a lot of things are changing in 2025, so we'll have to look at getting together. All right, y'all have a fabulous evening. Hello, Energy Empress. Have a great evening, everyone.